And JMB Baby 8491, and it's from your video, what to do when he asks for space. And she says, her man has asked her to give him 1 week so that he and has made arrangements for them to meet up the next Saturday. And she says, I want to be distant first, maybe because of overwhelming work. So my case is different. What she's saying this is just him busy. He's not wanting to get away from her. However, he's questioning, asking for reassurance.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, because if you're anything like me, I will watch the best content, completely forget to subscribe and move on because, well, the video is over. So if you're like me, make sure you subscribe right away. And if you do like, only if you like this podcast and the content and the conversation here today, please like. If you don't like it, the thumbs down works just as well. But whatever you do, leave us a comment, leave us a question, because you never know, we might be having a conversation about your comment or your question in our next podcast. And so she's questioning. So
she's questioning, asking, yeah.
Basically, Jamie Baby 8491, from what I can see, just to sort of be clear, is basically saying her boyfriend or her partner said, hey, give me a week, I'm going to be really busy at work, and I'll see you next Saturday. Mm-hmm. And the video, she's referring to what to do when he asks for space. And in that video, I'm talking about when a man says, look, I just need some space to go away, to think about it. And I'm sort of talking about give him space, give men space. Men need space. They need space. Men need space. Okay, I can't say that enough. And space works for you too, because men fall in love when they miss you. When, like I think Greta was saying last in one of the podcasts, when a man misses you, he falls in love. And I always say that men in love fall in love with your absence. So as women, we need to practice giving men space. Just gift him your absence, right? And so in that video, that's what I was talking about. It's okay. A man asking for space doesn't mean he wants the relationship to end. He means that you're either too clingy, maybe too anxious, and he just needs to really think about whether he even wants to be here. And the more space you give him, the safer you become to him. And so she's asking here, her boyfriend has said, I won't see you this week. I've got work. I'll see you on Saturday. And she's saying, is that the same thing? Is it the same level of seriousness? Is he asking for space inadvertently? And no, he's not. That's the bottom line. He's not asking. He's just saying he's going to be busy at work. He's saying, I'm busy at work this week, and so therefore I'm not going to be able to give you. He's saying what he's saying, you know. And this is the thing with women, is we want to read into what men are saying. Men are not saying a lot of things. They're saying what they're saying, you know. When a man doesn't want to say something, he becomes ambiguous.
Yes.
But if a man is opening his mouth and making certain things clear, he's saying what he's saying, which is, I'm going to be busy at work and I'll see you on Saturday.
Yes.
Right? And he's helping set expectations and, you know, kind of letting you... I think it's wonderful if a man can set some time for space, let you know when he'll be back, and reassure his feminine. I think she's onto a really great guy. However, if you're anxious, then that's a problem. What are your thoughts?
The prevailing thought that I had here is that you're right. Say, look, I'm going to be busy, but let's meet up on Saturday. Should be enough to pacify her and let her get on with her week. However, dependent on what's gone on with her in previous relationships, is speaking here. Right. Because she's, from what I'm reading here, she's evidently been hurt by somebody doing this already, because there isn't really anything here to worry about. But she's concerned that something may be wrong. Right. Is it him trying to say, you know what, I really just want to get away from you? Yeah. Or does she have a problem with him being away from her for a length of time? Right. So there's two prevailing thoughts going on here. Number one, is it past hurts? Or number two is, I've got some anxious attachment going on here. So, you know, what should I really be doing about it? Or does this really affect me?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that women with an anxious attachment style, which is anxious attachment styles tend to be quite common in women, and avoidant attachment styles seem to be quite common in men. And because of the games we're playing on each other in the dating world, and because of the disregard, a lot of women, their nervous system is shot.
Yes.
So I suspect you're right that she's been played before. Men, I mean, he's a good one. He's telling us, some just ghost you.
Yeah. Yes.
They just disappear, and then you got to work it out.
Yes.
And I know it's happening vice versa as well, but I sense that she's asking this question because she's spooked.
Yes.
And that's just her anxiety being triggered. And if women are not careful, they can drive away a really great guy. Because this is a man who is emotionally intelligent, emotionally present, emotionally cherishing.
Yes.
Of a woman. It takes a lot of him. It takes a lot out of a man to attend to a woman's feelings.
Yes.
I don't think women understand what it takes for a man to attend to your feelings, because it takes a lot for a woman to attend to a woman's feelings. Trust me, I work with women. I'm like, it takes everything for me to work with women's feelings, and I'm a woman, and I have, I'm on a, women, our emotional world is very fast, it's very complex, it's very full, and a man's emotional world, albeit he feels what we feel. In the same capacity, he feels it. He's more, especially if he's masculine, he leans more into his logic, into his rationale, into structure. And so they don't tend to have weird and funny emotions, which is why the masculine frames the feminine, which is why women want to belong to a man. Some people are going to be upset with this language, but it's the truth. Okay, maybe you can find another word that might make you feel better. Okay, but we want a frame, because we are even aware of our own chaos, right? Feminine energy is chaotic in a beautiful way. It's like a kaleidoscope.
Yes.
It's like, it's beautiful. The chaos of design, of creativity, however, it also needs containment. And so, when you have a man that does this, what this man has done is given her masculine containment. He said, look, I know that you might get anxious, so I'm going to let you know I'm going to be busy at work, and on Saturday, I'm going to show up for you, okay? So you're safe, I'm containing you. That takes a lot of energy from a man to do, because a man would rather just bugger off and come back on Saturday. He's thinking, I've got this, and this to do. Lady, see you on Saturday. But he's explained. So this is a man who is masculine and is containing his feminine's emotion. Now, if you get a man like that, if you are blessed, okay, because this guy is not common. If you're blessed to have a man that can provide emotional masculine containment for you, and you behave anxious, he will leave.
Yes.
Because he won't be able to tolerate that long term. So if you have a good guy who gives you containment, but you're always feeling anxious, you're not sure, what does he mean? He said he was going to the shops. Is he really going to the shops? Houston, we have a problem. Because this is a man who is in his masculine. He's clearly driven. He's got work. That means he focuses on his money. He focuses on his goals. These are masculine men that we say we want, right? So he's prioritizing work right now. All of these things, he cannot cope. Men can't perform at the highest level when they have an emotionally unstable woman.
Yes.
Right? A man must, because guess what? That woman is going to be the caretaker of his children.
Yes.
Right? Of their children. He doesn't want to feel like his kid's going to be unsafe with this woman one day because she can't, she can't manage her emotions. And so women lose men very easily. If you have an anxious attachment style and you have a man who's showing up as masculine, you need to make a call. You need to call us. We need to help you. Okay, Baba? Yeah. All right, my darling, sweet little swan, because you're going to run off a good one. Yeah. So, if you're not going to make that call, do the emotional mastery masterclass. But we want you to be able to really be able to say, when a man says, look, I'm going to be away, for a week, I'll be back on Saturday. All he needs to hear from you is, thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate that. And please, if you need anything from me in the meantime, I'm here.
Yes.
So anything I can do to support. And if you really, if you've been in a relationship for a long time and you know his movements and you know his whereabouts and your man's going to be working, from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and he's not great at taking care of himself, you can show up with a meal and say, hey, look, I'm just passing by, knowing you probably haven't eaten. Here's a sandwich and a drink. I hope everything is okay. And you go. Don't stick around. Don't tell him about your day. Don't be wasting his time, right? That's a nice show of care. So, there are things that we can do, and you get to see him as well. But don't do it to check on him, because he's,
Yeah, he will know.
Because, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're a balanced woman, what a man really wants in terms of a long-term partner. For a sexual partner, a man would tolerate a lot of stuff, which we're talking about in one of the podcasts. But for a long-term partner, displaying emotional stability is... Because when a man is ready to marry, he really gets very logical about it. That's the truth, and he is going to be checking to see if you're going to be a stable partner, somebody he can trust with the children while he's away, somebody who can regulate herself. And above all, he also needs your emotional stability for himself.
Yes.
Men need a woman who is present for them emotionally, a safe space, where they contain us and our emotions, and they create this masculine space. They need a safe feminine space to be vulnerable, right? And in order to hold space for a man, you have to be emotionally stable. He's got to feel like he can share some secrets and his worries and his concerns and the things that are on his heart and mind.
Yes.
And that's going to be safe because he knows his woman has emotional mastery.
Yes.
If he feels he can't come to you and lay his burden down, if he can't lay his head on your laps and find peace and rest,
it's not going to work.
You're going to date him for 5 years and then he's going to go marry the girl up the road after 6 months of dating her. This is what happens. I was dating him for 5 years and then he dumped me and married the girl up the road. Yes, because the girl up the road was easier. Women don't want to understand men. He will love the hell out of your chaotic self, right? You'll be the sexiest thing. You might even be the best woman he's ever slept with.
Yeah.
He might even be having daydreams about you while he's with his wife. But when it comes to commitment, he's going for the one that's easier.
Yeah. I hear that. And whilst we jest and, we're laughing, but it's so true.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that if we're not careful, we'll find so many good ones going out of our sphere.
100%.
Because we just were not able to control our anxiety and everything you want reassurance for. There comes a time when you're going to have to ask yourself, it can't always be them.
Right.
At some point, you're going to have to stop and look at you.
Yeah.
And say, let's do something about this.
Yes.
Yeah. And when that day happens, that's when you contact Black Swan, and we're always here to help.
Exactly. And you can get all the how to contact us in the description below. I hope that this episode was really good for you and that you all have learned something about yourself through the stories and the questions that have come our way. We look forward to seeing you on our next video. In the meantime, my darlings, do take care of you. Love you lots.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.